What's going on, y'all? I know it's the second day of the week. Do you know what the day is? It's Case Study Tuesday! What's going on, y'all? Look, every Tuesday, I'm dropping a Case Study Tuesday where I'm going to talk about deals that I've completed in the past, deals that I'm currently working on, deals that some of my clients are working on, and deals that some of my guests. I may bring on a couple of guests during these Case Study Tuesdays to talk about the deals that they've done throughout their real estate investing careers. So today I want to take you back in time. Again, folks, hey, I'm Marcel. If you're just coming across this video, been investing since 2002, and I'm going to take you back to 2002 today. I was into my second year of college at Morgan State University. Shout out to all my Morgan State Bears. And I was on the bridge. For the folks that don't know what the bridge is, this is a hangout spot on campus, and we called it Bridgeology 101. I bumped into a buddy of mine's, and this is a place where we congregate. We talk about sports. We talk about life. We try to pick up the ladies. We try to, meet new people and date new people on this bridge. We cut class. We did everything on this bridge. This was the place to be if you were on campus back in '02, and probably still to this day. But anyway, we also found out about money-making opportunities. Sometimes they were legal, sometimes they were illegal. This day, it happened to be a legal opportunity, and I was all ears. Now, my friend said that he was looking for people to invest $500, and at the end of 6 months, you would get a 100% return on your investment. I had never heard anything like that. He actually said you would either get a 100% return on your investment, or you would actually become an owner of a property for just $500. And I found that really hard to believe. I was like 20 years old, but I was like, I want to learn more about this. Tell me more, because he had heard it from somebody else. So he actually introduced me to one of my good friends to this day, Jamal Gardner. Make sure you follow him, Jamal Gardner _investor on Instagram. And Jamal was just getting started in tax sale certificates. That's a writer-downer. Write that down. Tax sale certificates. And Jamal was really honest with me. He said, Marcel, I see how excited you are about this opportunity. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I usually don't work with people outside of my network unless they're family or friends. I don't really know you yet, but I see how excited you are, and I don't want to just take your money. I'm only raising money with my friends and family. That's what he told me. I said, no problem. I didn't feel disrespected at all. I actually respected him even more for telling me that. But then he said, I'm going to share something with you. And he went to his trunk. He was driving like an Acura RL back in the day. And he went to his trunk and he pulled out this book. It was about the size of 2 phone books. He pulled it out of his trunk. And he said, Marcel, all you have to do is go down to the building where you pay your parking tickets and you pay your water bill, and you can buy this book for $4. And I was like, for real? $4 for a book of properties? I did that the next day. I took massive action. Write that down too. Take massive action. Now, today the book is only about this thick. It's about a few thousand properties in this list here. However, the book back in 2002, $4, you got tens of thousands of properties. I think back in '02, the tax sale had about 11,000 properties on the list. 11,000. The book was huge. Okay. So I purchased this, and this was actually the tax sale book after the auction. They used to do live auctions. Now they do online auctions. So I purchased this book, and I see that you can purchase these tax sale certificates for a few $100s all the way up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. I didn't have that type of money. I had a few hundred, but I didn't know much. So I decided to immerse myself in this newfound information. Okay, I immersed myself in tax sale certificates. Now we're talking 2002. I don't think Google was around. YouTube definitely wasn't around. None of these social media platforms were around. So I couldn't just get on the internet and find concrete information specific to my marketplace. So I started going to the different bookstores in my city, Barnes and Nobles, Daughterless Books, and there was another bookstore I went to, and I picked up 3 books, and they had really good information, but it wasn't specific to my marketplace. So I was all over the place trying to figure out, can I invest in tax sale certificates in the state of Maryland? If I can, what cities can I invest in? It was all over the place. The information, I was like confused. So I just jumped out on faith. And I purchased 2 tax sale certificates. Now, when you buy a tax sale certificate in my market, Maryland, you're not the owner. When you purchase this, you cannot enter the property. Okay, when you purchase a tax sale certificate off the tax sale list. Okay, that's something that I learned. Okay, now in those books, I discovered that every city, every county has its own set of rules all over the country. Everybody does it differently. Every city and county does it differently. And over time, the rules change. The laws change. Like California, you can get up to 50% on the money that you invest. In the state of Maryland, it goes anywhere from 18% up to 24% on your money. So I was investing in Baltimore City, and I looked at this list, and I said, I really don't know any of these streets. Literally, it was tens of thousands of leads. So what I decided to do is I took a highlighter, similar to this marker, and I started highlighting all the properties I believed I could afford. Now, I didn't have tens of thousands of dollars access to that type of money at that time. So what I did is I started thinking outside the box. And that came from self-development, personal growth. I started reading books in the early 2000s, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I remember having a mindset shift. I went from having a consumer mindset to an investing mindset, meaning instead of like consuming all the different types of music that I was listening to at the time, which was great music, Hot Boys, Cash Money, 3 6 Mafia. I was listening to it all, Mobb Deep. However, I had to start changing my frequency, okay? I had to start listening to business tapes, people like Jim Rohn, people like Les Brown. And then I picked up that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I changed my mindset when it came to consuming, and I started learning more about investing. So I said, I'm going to take my financial aid refund check. It was about $1,700 and change each semester. And instead of going out and consuming, I'm going to invest. So I invested in 2 properties off of the list. And I ended up becoming the owner of one. I paid $850, never forget, 79 cents, for a tax sale certificate on a property in East Baltimore. And that totally changed my life. When I received that certificate, and I'll do another video and show you a real tax sale certificate because I still invest in those today, it changed my life. I actually had a government-backed certificate, okay? And I was like, what next? Really? What next? Because the book said you had to start the foreclosure process. Jamal was like, you got to foreclose. I didn't know anything about that, so I ended up hiring an attorney, okay? Now, the cool thing about purchasing that book for $4, I ended up driving all of the properties that I highlighted. So I was traveling to South Baltimore, North Baltimore, different parts of West Baltimore, East Baltimore, outside of the neighborhoods I grew up in. So this was like all new to me. There wasn't any navigation in the car back in the day. There wasn't any GPS on your cell phone. Okay, I had like an analog cell phone. Oh, back in 2002. It wasn't any smartphone. I didn't see any of that until like 2004. So the thing is, I used MapQuest. So I was working part-time at Social Security Administration. I was coaching high school basketball. I had very little time, but the time I had, I dedicated. I immersed myself in this information. And I started driving my marketplace. And I ended up learning Baltimore like the back of my 2 hands. And when I came across these properties, I said, you know what? This house looks pretty. There's somebody living in there. this was probably a good investment. I didn't know anything about the return that I would receive on my money. I just jumped out there and purchased these certificates, and I later learned. So that first property, it was pretty. The person redeemed, and I got up to, I think it was 18% on my money that I invested. The second person, come to find out, was deceased. Nobody was taking care of the property. The property was vacant. I actually ended up owning that property, and I later sold it for $25,000 and change. I'm going to be doing some webinars soon, and I'm going to be taking you into my deals, breaking them down, showing you receipts. I saved all my documentation from those deals, and hopefully, this information is going to help change your life in some way. I don't know how. It may empower you. You may be able to share it with someone who is looking to get started in real estate. But I want you to take bits and pieces of my case studies and take action with what you hear, because these are proven and tested strategies that have been working way before I even started, way before 2002. And I know that they can work for you. Folks, I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and also one day at the closing table. Take care. God bless.